Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. So second match here in Group C, we have, second batches of duels. We have Synchro versus Legendary 6 Samurai. So there's like only 2 years a difference between both these decks. So that's not a lot, but one of them is a TCG list from 2011. So that's the 6 Samurai list, first place, Shonen Jump slash YCS list. And while the other one is an OCG list, because again, a couple of cards, Pre-errata, looking at Brionac, looking at the Rescue Cat, for example. So this is the 6 Samurai list. I think most notable, of course, TCG, while, Triple Gateway, Triple United, 6 Samurai, I guess, at its prime, back in 2011. It's going to take on OCG, Synchro Cat, Rescue Cat, shenanigans. A strong deck, having access to a lot of banned cards, looking at Heavy Storm, looking at stuff like Cold Wave, Pre-errata Crush card by the way, and Royal Oppression, so that's important, right? That's strong, that's really strong, but again, both decks definitely want to go first, and in case of Synchro Cat, looking at Oppression, that's something that you definitely want to capitalize on, so you definitely want to go first. This going second hand for Synchro Cat is not the best. The Storm, on the other hand, definitely helps out a lot. I believe the set was a Solemn Warning, so that definitely was needed. There is a Monster Reborn, but here in this case the Monster Reborn felt kind of weak-ish. The Panther, again, is not really a card you want to draw, so again, 6 Samurai is a deck that if it's not opening with Gateway and or United to capitalize on those summons, it's, for the deck kinda hard to, if you're able to break their potential weak board, it's very hard for the deck to return, right? To return themselves back in the duel simply because it has so many 2/3 card combos. Sure, if it's backed up by Gateway or United, it helps out by, at least with the follow-up play, but if those weren't there in the first turn, the deck will struggle if, you're able to break the board as the opponent. This is where I guess, the fact that in the same format, back in the old school days where I believe back at that time, I don't think in the TCG it was possible to use stuff like Hidden Armory or Arms Hole as it was called in the OCG, and legal in the same format as Premature Burial. I don't think we ever had that in a TCG. Sounds strange, right? But I think it was that way, simply because Pre-errata, Brionac could bounce it, bounce Premature Burial back to the hand, reuse Rescue Cat, etc, etc. So okay, duel number 2, post side deck, and this hand going second, not the best. Again, not being able to, gain field presence. But let's face it, like if 6 Samurai is able to open with that, like a Xian, backed up by a Grandmaster or what is it, Kizan, and a couple of back rows, it's super hard, especially for like an older deck to battle it outright or battle through the first of all the negation of Xian and then a couple of back rows, which could potentially be stuff like Warning, let's face it. So this is instantly game, I think, yeah. No chance. Okay, game number 3. Again, both side deck, this opening hand, again, not the best. Again, that Panther in the opening hand, but going second, potentially, this could be powerful. Looking at Cyber Dragon, looking at Monk, potentially discarding Burial, etc. So, set Gravekeepers, Guard, and Pass. This is okay-ish. I mean, 6 Samurai isn't really the deck that can, get rid of, like, face-down monsters that easily. Sure, there is Hand of the 6 Samurai, but, it's not that easy to get on the field with, at least if that's being normal summoned, I feel fine, because I guess that's not a potential synchro play on the other side of the field. So the strong Cyber Dragon into Airbellum, into Urbellum, that's strong, that's really strong. Urbellum sending a card back to the deck, I believe, or is it top of the deck? I think here, right, the Solemn, I think if the Solemn Judgment was used before on a normal summon of Monk, I think I could have gone for a game because of, did I have Monster Reborn? I think so. And that would have made Dark Arm Dragon live, I think. Should rewatch that, but I think that's the case. So that's the thing with Solemn Judgment, like it's a strong card, but only Judgment and no back row after that, it's, it kind of feels awkward to pay half of your life points for maybe a mediocre play. So game number 4, again going second with An iffy hand, like this hand going first is super strong, you know, like Monk discarding Burial, potentially go for any rank 7, level 7 Synchro play or whatever, or level 5 or level 6 probably, either Catester or Brionac, and with Oppression, that's strong. But now going second for that board, that's not going to help out, especially after Gateway and what was it, one Pot of Greed being 6 Samurai United, you're not going to win that, and there's another United, so I think we can, you know, pack our bags and move into the, you know, the last game. So again, not really against all expectations. There is like only, you know, 2 years a difference between both these decks, and I guess both decks have their stronger plays and weaknesses, so it kind of feels like the same, even though the differences were kind of big if you looked back at the votes from the people, right? So okay, last game, and again Synchro Cat going first. This is a much better opening hand, already able to, you know, use your normal summon for the turn, you know, Rescue Cat. It's either Catester or Brionac, but didn't really feel comfortable of going for a weaker Brionac, but you know, potentially Brionac with Heavy Storm, Premature Burial, that could have been much better in the long run. But I feel Catester, well, if I think of it, like Xian is a dark, right? So let's say if Samurais had like the Typhoon or something for the Oppression, yeah, maybe I mean, it's not going to matter here in this case, but both Brionac and Catester I feel were okay. Because that heavy, it didn't really matter. There is a Typhoon, by the way, but here in this case, Brionac, this is Pre-errata Brionac, so you're able to use this effect multiple times during the same turn, or, you know, discard one, see if there's a response, and then discard another one, and, you know, go from there. And now, because this was so broken back then, you can just go for a game eventually. So I think this was a well-deserved win. Both decks kind of bricked in some duels in some games, but even again, both decks have their weaknesses. I mean, looking at Samurais, looking at Rescue Cat or Synchro Cat, right? So next matchup, again, the bottom part being the more stronger decks, right? More broken decks. We have Dinosaurs versus a winner from one of the previous Cross-Banlist competitions, being Sword Soul. So which deck has this one? Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.